They would listen to the radio at night time where they would radio prisoners' names.
Nobody actually really knew what had happened until the Japanese archives were capable of being inspected.
In a year marked by momentous changes and loss, from the outbreak of violence in Israel and Gaza to record-breaking extreme weather around the world, archaeological and cultural news offered a mostly welcome distraction. Spanning disciplines, historical eras, geographic locations, and cultures, some of the treasures below were first unearthed years ago, but only documented now, while others were identified more recently. From a floating speakeasy that sank under suspicious circumstances to a 4,000-year-old site dubbed Dutch Stonehenge, these were the most fascinating finds of 2023, according to the Smithsonian Magazine. To know some of the nerve-wracking finds until the end of last year, stay till the very end of the video. Number 1. Divers pull wreckage of Tuskegee, Airman's plane from the depths of Lake Huron. In 1944, Second Lieutenant Moody, a distinguished Tuskegee Airman, faced a tragic fate during a training exercise when his aircraft's machine guns malfunctioned, resulting in severe propeller damage. Months later, Moody's lifeless body washed ashore near Port Huron, while the remnants of his plane lay scattered beneath the lake's surface for decades. Recently, a team of divers achieved a significant victory, recovering Moody's aircraft engine after years of persistent efforts to retrieve the wreckage. The engine and wings were located precisely 70 years after Moody's ill-fated crash on April 11, 1944. This 1,200-pound relic will soon find its place alongside other recovered fragments at the Tuskegee Airmen National Historical Museum in Detroit. Divers were notably struck by the red paint on the aircraft's tail, a distinctive mark of the Tuskegee Airmen, the pioneering black flying unit in the U.S. military. Comprising nearly 1,000 black pilots and over 10,000 supporting personnel, the airmen underwent training at the segregated Tuskegee Army Airfield in Alabama. Michigan, including additional training sites, witnessed 15 Tuskegee airmen losing their lives, with 5 perishing in Lake Huron, an event commemorated by a 2021 monument. Researchers anticipate that the ongoing restoration endeavors will serve as a fitting tribute to aviators like Moody, whose sacrifices contributed to the path of military desegregation. Number 2. Archaeologists find 3,000-year-old sword so well preserved, it almost still shines. Archaeologists in the southern Bavarian town of Nordlingen made a rare discovery last week, a 3,000-year-old sword near a gravesite. The well-preserved weapon features an octagonal bronze hilt cast over the blade, a craftsmanship only seen in 2 regions, one near the excavation site in southern Germany and the other in northern Germany and Denmark. Despite its age, the sword exhibits minimal wear, suggesting it may not have been used in battle, yet its center of gravity indicates it was a functional weapon for slashing opponents. Bronze swords emerged around 1600 BCE and were utilized until approximately 600 CE. The Bavarian artifact is dated to the end of the 14th century BCE. Found alongside Bronze Age artifacts, it accompanied the burials of 3 individuals, a man, a woman, and a child, raising questions about their connection and possible familial ties. Number 3. Searchers find World War II ship that sank with more than 1,000 Allied POWs aboard. On July 1, 1942, an American submarine launched 4 torpedoes at the Japanese merchant ship Montevideo Maru, resulting in its sinking in the South China Sea with an estimated 1,080 people, including 979 Australians. Marked as Australia's worst maritime tragedy, the ship's location remained a mystery for over 8 decades. Recently, a collaborative effort involving the Australian Defence Department, the non-profit Silent World Foundation, and Dutch company Fugro, specializing in underwater surveys, located the wreckage over 13,000 feet below the sea's surface, deeper than the Titanic's resting place. Employing an autonomous underwater vehicle equipped with sonar during a 12-day search, the discovery aims to bring closure to families affected by the tragedy. Officials plan to leave human remains and artifacts undisturbed out of respect for the deceased and their kin. Number 4. Once a floating speakeasy, this shipwreck tells a tale of bullets and booze. In 2023, Traverse City-based underwater photographer and author Chris Roxburgh embarked on a journey to explore the wreck of the Kuka. Originally named the A. Stewart, this 1889-built timber-hauling barge took a fascinating turn in 1929 when acquired by the Wolverine Steamship Company. Seizing the opportunity during Prohibition, owner Gallagher transformed it into a floating dance hall. The Kuka mirrored the era's drinking and gambling culture, drawing a diverse crowd of locals, including shopkeepers, laborers, and merchants. However, the Kuka's vibrant life was short-lived, sinking in 1932, merely 3 years after its grand opening. The circumstances surrounding its demise fueled speculation, ranging from accusations against the Charlevoix Women's Christian Temperance Union to theories of deliberate scuttling to evade federal agents. Some maintained it succumbed to natural leakage, requiring daily pumping to stay afloat. Number 5. Metal Detectorist discovers rare gold pendant celebrating Henry VIII's first marriage. In 2019, Charlie Clark, a 34-year-old cafe owner and newfound metal detecting enthusiast, made an intriguing discovery in a Warwickshire field, a gold pendant and chain, featuring intertwined initials H and K, along with a red and white Tudor rose and pomegranate bush, symbols associated with Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon. The heart-shaped pendant bore the inscription Toujours on both sides, a nod to eternal love. While skepticism initially surrounded the find, meticulous analysis of the pendant's iconography dispelled doubts about its authenticity. Recorded in the PAS database, the artifact likely dates between 1509, the year of Henry and Catherine's marriage, and 1533, the year of their annulment, with a suggested date around 1521. This aligns with a similar design embroidered on equine body armor during jousts at the English court. The pendant provides a tangible link to Henry's penchant for commissioning metalwork to commemorate significant events, revealing a captivating chapter in Tudor history. Number 6. 2. 1,800-year-old Roman cavalry swords, unearthed in England. A metal detectorist has uncovered a pair of 1,800-year-old Roman cavalry swords, still preserved in the remnants of their wooden sheaths. Archaeologists are examining the swords with plans to showcase them at the Corinium Museum in Cirencester, England next year. These likely Spathis swords, utilized by Roman soldiers from approximately 160 to the 3rd century CE, were particularly suitable for officers or civilians on horseback due to their long, straight blades. Discovering multiple Roman swords together in Britain is uncommon, noted Simon James, an archaeologist at England's University of Leicester. This finding adds to recent discoveries, including a Frankish medieval warrior buried with a 1,300-year-old Spatha in Germany, and the Israel Antiquities Authority's announcement of 4 1,900-year-old Roman-era swords near the Dead Sea last month. Are they somehow connected? Archaeologists are trying to find more information, and very soon they might reveal something astonishing. Number 7. Civil War weapons recovered from South Carolina's Congaree River. Archaeologists have uncovered a cache of Civil War weaponry in South Carolina's Congaree River, preserved since February 1865, when Union forces, led by General William Tecumseh Sherman, occupied Columbia. Following the mayor's surrender on February 17, 1865, retreating Confederate forces left the city vulnerable to Union troops, many of whom, in a state of inebriation, pillaged and burned over 2/3 of Columbia. In the aftermath, Union soldiers discarded Confederate weapons, including sabers, bayonets, tents, and gunpowder, into the river. Recent retrieval efforts became possible through Dominion Energy's $20 million cleanup initiative, removing coal tar from the Congaree River. Recovered artifacts, including cannonballs, artillery shells, a sword blade, and an unexploded ordnance, will be showcased at the South Carolina Confederate Relic Room and Military Museum in Columbia, along with Native American arrowheads and more contemporary items. Number 8. Medieval pantry stocked with spices found in 500-year-old shipwreck. In the summer of 1495, King Hans of Denmark and Norway anchored his warship off the southern coast of Sweden, en route to Kalmar for his bid to become King of Sweden and unify the Nordic region. Laden with opulent symbols of status, including exotic foods and spices, Hans aimed to sway Swedish leaders. Surprisingly, a recent excavation brought to light a trove of these preserved culinary remnants, comprising 40 varieties of fruits, vegetables, spices, nuts, and cereals. The discovery included spices like ginger, clove, peppercorns, dill, mustard, and caraway, alongside the remains of cucumbers, grapes, raspberries, blackberries, almonds, and hazelnuts. Notably, over 13 ounces, 400 milliliters of saffron were unearthed, a rare and historically expensive spice. The remarkable preservation of these plants remains in the Baltic Sea, known for its cold temperatures and low salinity, adds a unique dimension to the understanding of culinary practices from the past 5 centuries. Number 9. Drought in Texas reveals World War I shipwreck. Droughts are known to reveal historical sites and artifacts, and sometimes even ships. While jet skiing on the river, Bill Milner encountered a substantial wooden boat, documenting the site with 250 photos and videos. The Ice House Museum in Silsbee, Texas was alerted, seeking expertise to safeguard the visible sections of the long-known wreck. Maritime archaeologist Amy Borgens from the Texas Historical Commission shed light on the mystery, revealing that the vessels were constructed in nearby Beaumont during World War I. 9 shipyards across Texas were involved in this wartime endeavor, with 5 in Beaumont alone. Operated by the U.S. Shipping Board Emergency Fleet Corporation, EFC, these ships played a crucial role in transporting soldiers and supplies to France during the war. Post-conflict, some unfinished EFC vessels were abandoned in Texas rivers, and at least a dozen such wrecks remain submerged in the Nikias River near Beaumont, according to the Texas Historical Commission. Number 10. Archaeologists discover 4,000-year-old Stonehenge burial ground in Netherlands. Dutch archaeologists recently unveiled a 4,000-year-old religious site referred to as the Stonehenge of the Netherlands. This significant discovery encompasses a burial ground featuring a monumental burial mound functioning as a solar calendar with a diameter of 65 feet and containing the remains of approximately 60 individuals. Within the site, researchers uncovered offerings, including animal skeletons, human skulls, and precious items like a bronze spearhead. Evidently, this sanctuary held immense importance, serving as a focal point for tracking significant days in the calendar, conducting rituals, and conducting burials. Rows of poles aligned along pathways suggested their use for processions. Notably, during excavation in 2017, a woman's grave with a Mesopotamian glass bead, the oldest found in the Netherlands, highlighted a connection with people nearly 5,000 kilometers away. Over 6 years of research involving more than 1 million excavated objects spanning various historical eras followed, but the site was eventually reburied to accommodate construction needs. Number 11. Archaeologists discover the oldest known blueprints. Stone Age hunters in the Middle East and Central Asia employed colossal stone constructions, known as desert kites, to trap wild animals. Recently, a study published in the journal PLOS-1 unveils stone engravings depicting these desert kites with remarkable accuracy, dating back 7,000 to 8,000 years. These engravings, found in the Jabal al-Khashabiyeh region in Jordan and the Jebel Az-Ziliyat region in Saudi Arabia, are considered the oldest realistic plans for large human-made structures. The Jordanian engraving, approximately 8,000 years old, measures 2.6 feet by 1 foot, carved on limestone with a stone hammer. In Saudi Arabia, a larger sandstone boulder carving, around 7,000 years old, spans approximately 12.5 feet by 7.7 feet, depicting 2 nearby kites. While their precise purpose remains uncertain, researchers speculate the engravings might have assisted in planning kite construction, held cultural significance, or facilitated coordination in animal capture by positioning hunters strategically. The discovery sheds light on ancient engineering and societal practices, offering a unique glimpse into prehistoric human ingenuity. Number 12. Hundreds of unopened wine jars unearthed in Egyptian queen's tomb. During the excavation of Queen Merit Nath's tomb in Abydos, archaeologists unearthed a remarkable find: hundreds of sealed wine jars, some containing well-preserved grape seeds, dating back 5,000 years. Led by Christiana Kohler from the University of Vienna, the team expressed astonishment at the jar's pristine condition, presenting an opportunity to delve into ancient winemaking practices. Beyond the enigmatic vessels, the tomb reveals inscriptions suggesting Merit Nath's significant roles in governmental offices, including the royal treasury. hinting at her potential as Egypt's first female pharaoh around 3000 BCE. However, scholarly debates persist on this claim due to the rarity of female rulers during that era. Ongoing excavations aim to unravel more mysteries, shedding light on Meret Neith's life and influence in ancient Egypt. The findings hold promise for unveiling not just the secrets of winemaking, but also the historical prominence of this enigmatic queen. Number 13. Roman-era cemetery with over 100 tombs unearthed in Gaza. Archaeologists have uncovered a significant Roman-era cemetery in Gaza, revealing 2 rare lead sarcophagi and over 125 tombs. Initially discovered during construction work on an Egyptian-funded housing project, the remarkably well-preserved site spans 43,000 square feet. The graves are believed to hold the remains of Roman aristocrats, some with coins placed in their mouths, a customary practice thought to ensure a safe passage to the afterlife. The lead sarcophagi, adorned with reliefs of grapes and vines or engraved with dolphins, add to the archaeological richness. Situated near the ancient port city of Anthedon, inhabited by various ancient civilizations from 800 BCE to 1100 CE, the cemetery provides insights into the region's historical layers. The excavation, a collaborative effort between PUI and the French School of Biblical and Archaeological Research, EBAF, in Jerusalem, involves around 30 recent graduates from Gaza's universities, offering them valuable experience in cultural heritage exploration. Number 14. Mysterious 3,800-year-old Canaanite arch and stairway unearthed in Israel. Archaeologists have unearthed a perplexing yet captivating find at the Tel Shimron site in northern Israel, a remarkably preserved 3,800-year-old Canaanite arch and stairway, constructed from unfired mud bricks. The purpose of this structure, characterized by a corbelled arch leading to an underground staircase, remains enigmatic, particularly given its unusual ceiling soon after construction. The thick mud brick walls, devoid of rooms, form a long corridor. Initially considered a defensive measure, the lack of supporting evidence challenges this theory. Clues, including a Naharia bowl for ritual offerings and sacrificial animal bones nearby, hint at a possible cultic function. Dating back to 1800 to 1750 BCE, the site was once a pivotal Canaanite trading hub referenced in Egyptian writings, adding layers to the mystery surrounding this intriguing archaeological discovery. Number 15. Code breakers. Discover and decipher long-lost letters by Mary, Queen of Scots. During her 19-year captivity, Mary, Queen of Scots, penned thousands of letters seeking her freedom, employing intricate techniques to shield her messages from Elizabeth's spies. The hidden world of Mary's encrypted letters, largely lost for centuries, has recently been unveiled by a trio of codebreakers. Housed at the National Library of France, 57 coded notes, believed to be lost, were discovered. Dating between 1578 and 1584, these letters were predominantly addressed to Michel de Castelnau, the French ambassador to England. Codebreakers, including Norbert Biermann, a German pianist, and Satoshi Tomokio, a Japanese physicist, employed a hill-climbing algorithm, transcribing and deciphering over 150,000 symbols. While the algorithm decoded 30% of the text, the remainder required manual deciphering. Mary's letters, characterized as ciphers due to their complex use of algorithms, offer a unique window into her final years, raising questions about her strategic use of codes and ciphers during her intricate diplomatic correspondence. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Share your thoughts about the video in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for all future updates. See you next time.